What if you're abducted by aliens? If aliens discovered Earth, what would they do? Sure, they might make contact and announce their presence, but they also might play it safe and remain hidden to study us in depth. And what better way to do that than by taking test subjects? This is Unveiled, and today we're answering the extraordinary question, what if you're abducted by aliens? Are you a fiend for facts? Are you constantly curious? Then why not subscribe to Unveiled for more clips like this one, and ring the bell for more fascinating content. While the idea of extraterrestrial visitors is a popular theme of conspiracy theories, it is likely that alien life exists somewhere out there. Because of the sheer number of planets in the universe, it's difficult to imagine that Earth is the only one harboring life. According to some estimates, our galaxy alone could be home to thousands of extraterrestrial civilizations. For them to cross our path, however, is a bit more unlikely. Because of the vastness of space, they would need faster-than-light technology to have any hopes of traveling to Earth and returning to base, unless they're hiding in our own solar system, of course. Without such capabilities, it's unlikely that they'd make the long trek between star systems just to study us. Supposing they did make the trip, though, one of their first steps might be to take test subjects. It's hard to say if aliens have ever visited Earth. The modern era of UFO sightings began in 1947, but there are reported sightings and representations of possible UFOs dating back centuries. Painted in the 15th century, the Madonna with St. Giovannino depicts a man and his dog staring up at a mysterious flying disc. Similar depictions have been found in prehistoric cave paintings. There are also tantalizing descriptions of celestial vehicles in the Vedas, and even a reference in the Bible to a mysterious wheel within a wheel that resembles a flying chariot. Some believers find further proof in structures like Stonehenge and the pyramids, although why they'd want to build such structures remains mysterious. It's been suggested that the pyramids assisted aliens in navigation, but it's hard to imagine them traversing interstellar space, then getting lost on Earth. It seems more likely that rather than moving around rocks, they'd focus on studying the most intelligent species on the planet, humans. So if aliens did abduct you, what would be their purpose? For starters, they'd want information on our anatomy and physiology. When we discover new species on Earth, we observe it, and if possible, bring it into a lab to see what makes it tick. Of course, in order to do that, alien scientists would first have to render you immobile. Many people who claim that they were abducted by aliens report being awake for the experience. So instead of making you unconscious, they might opt to just paralyze your body. Hopefully, they'd have an advanced form of MRI technology to see inside you, without the need for vivisection or dissection. But they still might take tissue samples, and if you're unlucky, dive even deeper. They might check your stomach contents to see the types of food you eat and study your reproductive organs to better understand human procreation. They might even take samples of sperm or eggs to try to reproduce humans of their own on their home planet for further testing. Though the idea of anal probes is somewhat archaic, it does make sense that aliens would want to track you. When biologists capture elusive species they want to observe in their natural habitat, oftentimes they'll tag them with GPS trackers. Studying animals in their natural habitat is one of the best ways to learn more about them. It's the only real way to know their natural habits, behaviors, and interactions among members. While you're abducted, the aliens might well want to tag you in some way. For all we know, their technology might be so advanced that their tracking chips could transmit information about your surroundings, allowing them to continue their studies as you go about your day. The most likely areas to implant a device on the human body are probably between the shoulder blades, in the rectum, or near the armpit, as these areas often go unnoticed. However, human technology has already reached the point where our tracking devices can be as small as a grain of rice, so no doubt extraterrestrial versions would be almost impossible to find. Your abductors would probably want to wipe your memory as well. This is what many UFO victims claim, including Barney and Betty Hill, the couple responsible for bringing abductions into the spotlight. They claim to have had their memories wiped, only to remember later with the help of hypnosis. By now, aliens might not be so worried about wiping memories. As long as they didn't leave physical evidence, they could be confident that most people would just pass it off as another crazy abduction story. Then again, if they did plant you with a chip, wiping your memory could be crucial. The last thing they'd want is for you to remember where they placed the tracker so that you could provide evidence. The idea of a memory wipe isn't as fantastical as it sounds. We already know that by using drugs to block norepinephrine in the brain, we can dampen the emotional response to memories of past events. Using a more advanced process, aliens might have little trouble erasing the episode from memory. However, that's assuming that the aliens release you. If they had no plans to do that, there'd be no need to wipe your memory, as you'll never be able to tell anyone anyway. They might want to keep you as a living test subject for experimentation. Humans do the same thing on Earth. Instead of using our own kind, we often test products or procedures on animals. They might test out various drugs to see how your mind reacts, or worse, dissect you to better understand how our bodies work. Alternatively, they might use you for weapons testing to evaluate human vulnerabilities and resistance. After all, if it ever came to war between us, they'd want to know the easiest ways to kill us, and practice makes perfect. Abduction seems like a probable first step in studying a species. Though we don't use spaceships, humans abduct animals from the wild all the time to test them. It could be that our inherent curiosity is shared by other intelligent beings. Perhaps aliens are more like us than we think and share the method of capturing, testing, and implanting trackers and specimens before releasing them back into the wild for observation. It isn't a leap to assume that the purpose of abduction would be to learn more about us as a species, and what better way than by physical examination. So if you find yourself staring up at a bright point in the night sky, with your feet slowly being lifted from the ground by a tractor beam, you at least have an idea of what to expect. And that's what would happen if you were abducted by aliens. What do you think? Is there anything we missed? Let us know in the comments, check out these other clips from Unveiled, and make sure you subscribe and ring the bell for our latest content.